Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, it's Saturday, which means we have the quirky asset of the week, but we've also got a quirky map of the week as well. Not only is it quirky, it is also...
It's my first map.
That's right. Now, for a first map, it's not too bad. The good bits are really quite good, and the not so good bits are, shall we say, experimental. We'll go with that. I think that's the polite word. They're not horrendous. They're just, experimental. Quirky. Quirky is probably the better word. Now, I'm doing a little bit of cropping here not to give away the big reveal. And if you like me hiding the big reveal, you know what to do. Go on then. That's right, hitting that big reveal button doesn't reveal anything, but it does get me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day, so thanks for taking the time. Today's map is Yada Empire, Ces County, Olam by CesTheBeast. Ces, if this is what you're going to be producing for us in future, I want to see more. Very nice. There's your start square, very workable, that start square. We'll have a little look at the terrain heights, which are cropped in, not to give away the big reveal again. So there we are, terrain heights like such, and resources. Resources, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. This is good resource work. Thank you very much for that. Now off to the workshop. We need mass transit today and also park life. Although the park life is for some of the animals that are included inside the animal spawns. We'll be using the Boreal Summer theme and the dark green LUT. And there's a bit of a description there that tells you about how this map came to be. And thank you very much for that. I do enjoy having a little read about the background thoughts. Basically, it's a map that's been in process for about 15 years. Obviously, most of that was just drawings on papers and imaginationaries and the sort of things that we do on the backs of envelopes all the time because we are, well, we never grow up, do we? Of course we don't. Oh, hello. Hello, hello, hello. What's this railed here? I have no idea what's happened here. I'm sure Ces has a very good explanation, but we'll probably live without that one. And we're just carrying along. Okay, so this map has got one highway and one highway only. It's the one that we're following. But it also has a national road that is connected at both ends as well. So we do have the 4 highway connections. Although they don't actually interact with each other in any way either. So that's something to consider when you're actually doing your road layouts. Down here to the start square intersection, and this is the start square intersection. Nicely detailed with these stone rings. It looks like a plopped intersection to me, but there's nothing wrong with plopping a good one. And this looks a good one to me. And we have, I'm not sure what this extra stone ring is about, but we have an extra stone ring. That is one of the bits of wildlife. There's plenty of wildlife on this map. And Mr. Bear, are you going to walk towards our stones? That'd be so good for the camera. Go on. Oh, you tease. You tease you. Anyways, right, start square. If we move towards the start square, we'll have a little look, pull back and have a look. That's a good view to me. And then we'll have a look at, you know what? Yes, it's the asset of the day. It's the Lion de Veilhan, or something similar to that, by LordGruny. And this is a great modern statue in Bordeaux, I think, if I remember rightly from reading the description, which was 2 days ago now, so I don't remember exactly, but I think that's right. Shall we do factoids? Because factoids... We'll squeeze one in. Blue and red moons, blue moon, yeah, appear relatively frequently due to the dust in the atmosphere, but only twice has a green moon been seen, and maybe once more, possibly since the 1980s when the book was published. Anyway, Lion de Veilhan by LordGruny. That's some wildlife right there. But we've also got some real wildlife down here. Now, this is your start square. And there's a lot of wildlife going on. Now, do you want wildlife spawning in somebody's back garden? I don't know. Do you? There's a lot. There is an absolute bundle of loads of wildlife spawned in. I'm going to look around trying to find all of it. Now, the great thing I know about wildlife is they don't cross the roads. They're very good like that. Even if you put down the pedestrian crossing for them, they won't cross the roads. So you can actually hem them in with roads. And that got me thinking. I could do a what if about this, and I might still do it for those who don't watch What Map. But how about I invent a new computer game? And I've got a couple of little in-jokes. I've decided to call it, are you ready? I've decided to call it Heard It. A little nod towards Move It and all the other It mods that we have. Anyway, I've drawn a little road all the way around the outside of all the animals I saw spawned, and then when I saw one outside, I might do a little loop around the outside and try and drag them back inside. And try and capture all of them, see if I can't get them all to muster together. That'd be quite funny, actually, having like wolves and elk and whatever in just one little small location. That'd be pretty damned cool. So yes, also the other little in-joke there, I don't know if you noticed again, the network extensions joke. You can call it a joke, of course, and that is because it's network extensions. It's normally spelt with a capital N and a capital E with lowercases x and t, and I did that in the Heard It logo there as well. I spent hours planning this, and if you believe that, you will believe absolutely anything. And I was going to make some sort of joke about certain politicians, and we're not going to do that. But anyway, one thing I found with this was eventually these animals would despawn and then respawn outside of the barrier. And it got to a point that I suddenly realised that I was not going to win this game. Fighting the losing battle, the animals just weren't behaving, which means there's only one thing I could say could possibly happen at this point.
Game over.
Game over. Boom. Anyway, a little bit of fun there. A little bit of fun for once. Because that's not something that we normally have on this channel. We never have fun. Anyway, the highways there, we split up from the elevated section. Nice a little strong median going on down the middle there. And that's the national road on the left-hand side, which we'll come and have a look at in a moment. But instead of turning left and following it now, as we're right by the railways, shall we do the railways first? I think we should do the railways first. Now, it's a relatively flat map. I'm going to suspend disbelief because of Fantasy World, and it's definitely a fantasy map. You'll see all the telltale signs of that in a little while. But yes, the rail's pretty good considering it's a fantasy map and it's not entirely flat. We've got the split lines here, one for commercial and one for passenger, and it's all pretty nicely done. I've got to give high credit for the railway actually on this one. It comes down a bit steeply there, but even so, not a bad effort. Right, intermission, and then we'll have some more fun with this map.
Are you confused with the difference between a mod and an asset? And what's the deal between a theme and a LUT? Then you need BonBonB's Beginner's Guide to Mods, Assets, Themes, and LUTs. Click the information button now.
So back to Yada Empire, Ces County, Olam by CesTheBeast. And we have shipping routes. We have one that goes almost all the way around the outside of the map. You can't go all the way around because we've got the landmass on one side. And that looks pretty smooth there. Quite happy with that. And then if you follow down here, we've got another corner, if you can call it a corner, where we have to be forced in again. And the shipping routes split there and link up nicely. I'm quite happy with all of that. And then they come together quite sharp here, and that's also a very narrow passage for shipping traffic there. So yes, there's no alternate route for the ships to loop back. Water flow. Now, where do you think, huh? Let's go upstream. That looks like we'll go with this one. It's a stronger water flow, going up towards the start square. Now, are these working rivers? Well, sort of to a degree, and that's what makes this a fantasy map, because there are little bits of this map that just make no sense whatsoever, and kind of takes away, I know, suspend the disbelief, but you kind of still have to believe it. Anyway, up here to the start square kind of location, and we've got water flowing down from this location. Yeah, that's good, strong water flow. There's a spawn point lake up there that makes some kind of sense. And then we've got water coming in from here. There we go. Going upstream again now. And yeah, you're going to lose it a little bit here, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen. Going to lose it a little bit as we go. Still upstream here. and then going downstream here, which means we've got a spawn point. Yes, right on the map's phallus. That's the one. Okay, that's where all the water is coming from. Yes, us boys knew that already. We've got this national road. I advised you that this was coming. It's not the most scenic of roads, but it does go right into the map. It doesn't connect up, as I've told you already, with the actual highway networks, but it does do something, shall we say, unexpected. Yes, quirky, whatever. We have got the crossroads up here, though. Ah, hello, crossroads. Which is the most interesting route? Coast looks flat. That looks boring. Hill. Let's go towards the hill. Looking for something that's going to catch the eye. Yeah, go towards the hill. Why not? Right, so map. I'm liking a lot of the main features in this map. I like the water layout. The water layout is okay, considering it is fantasy. I've seen a lot worse in terms of fantasy maps. We're not talking about the top level water creator here, but we're talking about somebody who's able to visualize what they want to try and do. I think they're probably about the same level as me, actually. I've got a great vision, and then when I try and create it, it just doesn't quite work. And well, it does work, this map. It just doesn't shine. Ah, hello. We seem to have done a loop-de-loop here. I guess where this highway is turning up, yes, it goes back to that crossroads. It just does a loop around that little fantasy mountain there. Look at that. And anyway, this proves it's a fantasy map, because where's the water going? Nobody knows. Where is the water coming from? Nobody knows. Does anybody knows anything? Nobody knows. I quite like that. As a fantasy feature, I quite like that. Right, okay, let's go looking for other things. Okay, first of all, yeah, we got this passageway here where the shipping was cutting through. Do you remember it was cutting through? We've got the essential lighthouse. We need it there, really. Because the shipping is going through there. Why it doesn't just carry on down the obvious route, so it goes through there. Why doesn't it come down this way? I don't really know, other than just to be a little bit, oh, look what I can do. Look what I can do. I can make that work. Yeah, you made it work. There's nothing wrong with it. It's absolutely fine. I think the other route was better. Also, it's a creator who has signed their own work. Thank you very much for that, Cess. That is actually quite entertaining. Okay, what more have we got? We've got loads more. We've got loads more. I promise you, we're about 4 minutes away yet from placing a vote. So hang in, there is more stuff I want to show you. Switching off the fog there at the edge of the map, because there's something I want to show you at the edge of the map. I've just got to find the right edge of map. Is this the edge of the map? Maybe no. I don't know. Which is the edge of the map I'm looking for? I don't know. I'm hunting around for things here. Forests, lots of forests on this map. Lots and lots of forests. Quite like the forests. Forests are pretty good and strong. Oh, and they've got little waterfalls as well. Little waterfalls, shady little waterfalls. So many things. I know it's a bit disorganized, but there's something specific I want to show you, while still not giving away the big reveal. I think we've got to the right side of the map. We've got these interesting looking craters going on here. Let me show you. We're surrounded by trees. A lot of trees going on there. We've got this crater with lots of rocks in it. So, good for fishing, maybe? I imagine that's where fish would all come together. I point out there were actually some whale in the middle of the map, in one of those spawn points. I should have pointed that one out, but fortunately I've been so busy trying to remember everything I wanted to show you. We've got another crater here, which is more rippled, and this is above water. It also has the, yes, the Park Life glory holes. Lovely. A couple of those, you know. And some more water coming in. It's fantasy, it's fun. Then over here we have got more fantasy and fun. Now the award for the most frivolous use of castles in a map goes to Russell. It's Yada Empire, Cess County Olam by CesTheBeast. Everybody, well done. Very good. We've got some stickmen. We've got some stickmen. I told you this was going to be a quirky map. I'm going to scoot across here because I know we've got another castle. Kind of liking this castle in some levels, okay? And there are plenty of levels to this castle. You can see we've got the steps going up there. Kind of like the location. Kind of like the fantasiness of it. A lot of people have died in this castle. You can see from all the cemeteries, a lot of people have died here. And that's probably because the doors are on the outside walls. There they are. on these towers. The doors are on the outside. There, 1, 2. And the third door is for dwarfs only. There it is. Yes, dwarfs and little people. Lovely. The vertically challenged, much like myself. Well, I'm not that. I like to think I'm quite tall, really. I'm quite tall from, like, the shoulders up. Yes, I know, I've got a big head. Then we've got these castles. I like this little bit on the end here. This looks great. As castle bits go, as fantasy castles go, I like that last bit. That's good. Very, very nice. What more am I looking for? There's still more to find. There is still more to find. I think now for the big reveal. Yes, I think now. Let's do it. Okay, so do you remember this crater? Do you remember this one with all the rocks in it? It's not just any old crater. It's not just any old crater. It's Michael Jackson. Excellent. Absolutely brilliant. I don't know if that's Michael Jackson or not, but we'll go with it. And now this one over here, a little nod, I think, possibly, to one of our great creators on the workshop. See if you can recognise who it is when we pull back. Let me show you the old glory hole there. That's the eye, you see. We pull back. It's Mr. Maison. Well, vaguely. The dreadlocks are there anyway. Well, anyway, what do you think of this map? Try not to use 4-letter words. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. What do I think? I think it really does depend on what else comes out this month. It could be, or it could be right near the bottom. Your votes, of course. Okay, aesthetically, I think it's bold. It makes a statement. I don't think it's appealing, but I think it's been done very well. I think the overall idea is great. I'm giving it 3 stars. Detailing. There are some good bits. There are some not so good bits. There are some amateurish bits. But all told, I think it's still right down the middle with a 3. Gameplay potential. Tough one to call here. I'm not entirely sold on the highway networking. I like the rail. The water flow is interesting. I could push to a 4th, but I think a fair answer for this one, to give room for improvement, I think is 3 stars again for gameplay. Yarda Empire, Cess County, Olam by CesTheBeast. As I said at the start of the show, Cess, if you keep producing maps like this, I will be impressed, and I'm sure you will improve and your maps will become shinier and glossier. Certainly check out the fantasy maps by other fantasy creators such as the incredible Ikanya. If you start doing maps like that, then I think he will have a run for his money. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing, for joining me for another map in the What Map series. There's an old map on the screen now, and then, of course, Duvo last night, so go and watch that one if you haven't already watched it. Steam Weekly Chart Show coming tomorrow, and the Steam Monthly Chart coming on Sunday. No, something else. Time's up!